Greetings and welcome to The Contracting Guy. I am The Contracting Guy, and I want to share with you some things that just recently happened. That's particularly one thing. And for you small businesses, this is kind of important. Recently, I turned 65 several months back. And with being 65, you start, actually just before, you start getting things that look just like this. So a winner, chicken dinner. This is your retirement advisory group. Some group is going to come and ask you to talk about this stuff. And they generally all present, like a chicken or a steak dinner. And, since I'm pretty darn cheap, I sit there and go, okay, that sounds pretty good. I'll listen to you. I'm not going to do anything, but I will get the chicken dinner. In fact, it'll be a date, and I'll bring my wife with me. Say, hey, honey, why don't we go for a chicken dinner? It's kind of like a timeshare without having really involvement. So we go and we do this. Now, recently, I just received a flyer on this. Take a look, and it said, "Hey, come on out. We'll do this, but you need to register early because space will fill up." Well, being cheap, I said, "Okay, well, let me give a call." So I call the number on the flyer. And my first time I called, the guy goes, "Yeah, I'm having problems with my computer. Could you call right back?" I said, "Okay, fine." Whatever panel of communicators there are. So I call back and I introduce myself and ask another question. And immediately I was hung up on. I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling good about this at all. So retirement planning, I guess that's just the end of things. So finally, I called back again, and I called up the number they gave, and the person explained what their situation was, is that they did not see the date that was being presented. All right, okay, sounds good. And that we left. So I had 3 different experiences, customer service experiences, from this one request. All right. So I'm looking up who these people are. And I'm going, oh, okay, not the ones who called me, but who's hosting this. So I find out that the company that's hosting this is actually local in my area, Toledo. And I call up them, and I noticed that he's on LinkedIn, he's on Facebook. So I look him up. And I go to Facebook and I write my comment as to what I experienced, and then left a message. I called him up and left a message. Now, why is this important at all to you as a small business? Well, the key thing is that 2 things. One is that if you present something, you need to deliver on that something. So if you say something is going to happen at a certain time or a date or what have you, you need to deliver on that, because people have the first impression, will go, well, a second, I just got hung up on. What up with this? So the first thing is that you need to deliver on it. The second thing is that if you're going to contract out for people to do that for you, you better darn well make sure that it's coordinated, that whatever flyer you send up is actually coordinated with people who will answer that and give you a favorable reply. Now that's critical. Now, as a small business, you can't take the time of screwing around with this. You have to have it done right the first time, and you have to make sure there's no excuse of going, well, I didn't know, I contracted out, they didn't do it. Well, you need to do better market research on who is going to be your marketing arm for this particular event. Otherwise, you're going to walk away with less people involved or interested in what you have to offer. Keep in mind, as I used to tell small businesses when they would come to me and they would have errors on their proposals, I said, now keep in mind, I look at you and the errors in your proposal. If you're going to do this on the most important thing that you're trying to get me to get something from you, and you screw it up, what are you going to do with my veterans when you are working with them? Are you going to be so haphazard or lackadaisical with them? So at that point, there's not much you could say. Is that, oh, you're right, Jim. That's pretty much it. So what I tell you as a small business, make sure the stuff works, validate it that it works. Don't rely on them to do this. If you're going to send out a flyer, again, if you're send out a flyer, make sure that the dates and your confirmation numbers are linked, so that when a customer is calling you, that they don't get hung up on, or I'm sorry, we don't see that. So that's just bad form. You need to contract for someone else to do this. So this is a big deal. And it deals with really focus on the kind of contractors you're going to be working with. If you're going to subcontract out marketing, make sure they do what they're supposed to do, because it's only your problem. They don't care. You that actually is getting messed over. So with that being said, be mindful of this. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, but beware of the chicken you're going to eat. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out.
Thank you for watching The Contracting Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd appreciate that. This is The Contracting Guy. I'm out.